If you've ever dealt with that sharp, stabbing pain in your heel, you know just how much plantar fasciitis can completely take over your life. It can ruin your workout, make a day at work feel like torture, and just grind you down. Well, today, we're going to cut through all the confusion and give you a super clear, evidence-based master plan to get you back on your feet, literally.
Oh man, that first step out of bed in the morning, right? It can feel like you're walking on a bed of nails. For so many people, that's just the reality of heel pain. But what if you didn't have to guess what works? What if there was a real roadmap, something approved by the top experts that could actually guide you out of this?
Well, guess what? There is. The entire plan we're laying out today comes directly from the 2023 Clinical Practice Guideline for plantar fasciitis. Now, this isn't just some random person's opinion online. This is a huge review of all the best research put together by the American Physical Therapy Association. It's the real deal. So, let's dive in. We've broken it down into 3 simple phases to make it super easy to follow. All right, first up is phase 1, immediate relief. The whole goal here is to just calm everything down. We're looking for some quick wins, things you can start doing right now to get that pain level down and start feeling better fast.
Now, you see that grade A next to each of these? That's a huge deal. In the world of clinical guidelines, grade A is the gold standard. It means there's really strong evidence from high-quality studies that these things flat out work. So you can feel confident that these aren't just guesses. Let's break down what they are.
Okay, first up, stretching. And the guidelines are super specific here. Yeah, stretching your calf is definitely important, but the real game changer seems to be the plantar fascia-specific stretch. That's the one where you sit down, cross one leg over your knee, and gently pull your toes back towards your shin. You'll feel it right in the arch of your foot. The research shows this one is actually superior for pain relief. But here's the key. You should be doing both for the best possible results.
Next on our grade A list is taping. You can think of this like creating a temporary support system for your foot arch. The guidelines give this a top grade for short-term relief, especially in that 1 to 6 week window. It can immediately take some pressure off that irritated tissue, which helps reduce pain and lets you walk around more comfortably. It's not the long-term cure, but it's a fantastic bridge to get you feeling better while you work on the other stuff.
And this next one is a perfect example of how specific these guidelines get. If your main problem, your biggest complaint, is that awful first step pain in the morning, then the experts strongly recommend using a night splint. You wear it while you sleep, and it keeps your foot in a gentle stretch. This stops that fascia from tightening up overnight, which is exactly what causes all that morning agony. It's a simple, passive fix with top-tier evidence behind it.
Okay, so we've used the tools in phase 1 to calm the pain down. Now it's time to shift gears and move to phase 2. This is where we get proactive. This phase is all about building a stronger, more resilient foot so this problem doesn't just keep coming back again and again.
And this right here is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's one thing to get the pain to go away for a little while, but how do we stop the cycle? How do we build a foundation so this doesn't become a chronic thing you're dealing with forever? Well, the answer isn't what you might think. It's not just about more stretching, it's about getting stronger.
The secret weapon, according to the most exciting new research, is something called high-load strength training. See, for a long time, we thought of the fascia as something that just needed to be stretched, but now we know we actually need to strengthen it. It's just like lifting weights at the gym. When you put a heavy, slow load on a muscle, it adapts by getting stronger. The same thing happens with your plantar fascia. This kind of training actually tells the tissue to rebuild itself, making it thicker, tougher, and way more resilient to stress.
And you don't need a fancy gym to do this. There's a really simple progression you can do right at home. You just start with basic heel raises on 2 feet. Once that gets easy, you move to doing them on a single leg. Then you can start adding a little weight. You could hold some dumbbells or even just wear a backpack with some books in it. The final step is to put a rolled-up towel under your toes when you do it. This puts the fascia on a bit more of a stretch and really increases the load. This gradual step-by-step approach is how you build real, long-lasting strength in that tissue.
All right, let's move on to our final phase. Phase 3, smart support. This is where we need to talk about one of the most common and maybe one of the most misunderstood treatments out there for heel pain, orthotics and shoe inserts.
Okay, this is super important, so listen up. The experts make a very clear distinction here. What they say not to do is use orthotics all by themselves and expect a miracle. Just popping an insert into your shoe and carrying on with your life is not an evidence-based strategy. But, and this is a big but, they say you may use them as part of a bigger plan. So combining orthotics with the stretching from phase 1 and the strengthening from phase 2 can absolutely help manage your symptoms. You just have to think of them as a helpful tool, a sidekick, not the main hero of the story.
So, we've covered a ton of ground, right? Let's take a step back and pull all of these pieces together into one single, easy-to-read master action plan.
This table right here, this is your roadmap. You start in phase 1 for immediate relief with those grade A, top-tier interventions, stretching, taping, and night splints. Then you move to phase 2, which is your long-term fix, building strength with those progressive heel raises. And finally, you have phase 3, smart support, where you might use orthotics to help you along the way, but always in combination with the other therapies.
And, just as important as knowing what to do is knowing what not to do. And the experts are very clear here. They give a grade A recommendation against using therapeutic ultrasound. That's the highest level of evidence telling you not to waste your time with it. They also give a low grade to things like electrotherapy, basically saying the evidence is weak and you're much better off spending your time and energy on the things we know for sure work, like the stretching and strengthening we just talked about. This can save you a lot of time, money, and frustration.
So there you have it. That's your evidence-based roadmap to finally conquer heel pain. It's a journey, for sure. It goes from that immediate, passive relief to building active, long-term strength. It's not a quick fix. It takes some patience and consistency, but the path is crystal clear. The only question left is, are you ready to take that first step?